I just saw Monkey Man, which is Dev Patel's first movie to direct. It's a movie that's very obviously inspired by John Wick. They even mentioned John Wick towards the beginning of the movie with the neon light color palette and the action style. But it is a very different movie than John Wick. And honestly, a lot of the behind the scenes stories that have come out really makes it hard not to root for this movie and for Dev Patel. Because apparently they started filming this movie like at the beginning of COVID. And so with all the restrictions, they lost a lot of people that were working on the movie. And he legitimately had to bring in like crew members, like accountants and lighting guys to act in the movie. And with travel restrictions at the time, they lost a lot of set locations that they had prepped months for on the day of the shooting. So there's a lot of adversity that they had to overcome, and it just makes it feel like that much more of a passion project for Dev Patel. And you can feel it. This movie's trying to say a lot. It's a very different kind of action movie than you're probably expecting. Oh, and not to mention, Dev Patel broke his hand and his foot very early on in shooting, so he had to contend with that and completely change up the choreography to be able to suit him with his injuries. And it's kind of cool. Charlton Copley is in this movie, and him and Dev Patel were both in the movie Chappie. So it's cool to see Dev Patel bring him into this movie. And Chappie is directed by Neil Blomkamp. And honestly, I can see a lot of his influence in this movie as well. Just the tone, how characters act, the sets and the environment that the characters are in. It just felt like a Neil Blomkamp movie, or at least the two I've seen with District 9 and Chappie. This movie does slow down quite significantly in the middle part, and once you get to the third act, it doesn't necessarily feel like that slow part was necessarily earned, or at least not earned as much as it should have. But man, the action scenes were exciting, they were intense, they were amazing. Dev Patel, you can tell he knows how to direct action. I do say that he used a little bit too much shaky cam, but overall it was exciting. Oh yeah, and I got this Godzilla mug from the AMC I went to.